This is Damian McNamara reporting for Global Medical News Network at the Society of General Internal Medicine meeting in Miami Beach, where I'm talking with Dr. Allison Rosen of the University of Michigan about value-based insurance design for patients with diabetes.
And the idea is that as copays have gone up over the last few years, there's really been marked increases in, or rather decreases in the use of these therapies. The idea is to remove those barriers. So for value-based insurance design, it's sort of like it sounds. For high-value therapies, copays are reduced so that people use them more. And on the flip side, which I didn't really talk about, for low-value therapies, copays could be increased. What we did was we lowered copays for these evidence-based therapies that clearly have been shown in trials and in observational studies to be of high value, but they're underutilized. And so those are the ones that we actually decreased copayments for. But we looked at two things. We looked at, in folks who were non-users, who we wanted to use, were they starting to use?
Right.
So what we found was that the use of these therapies, in that sense, actually went up substantially. From our baseline to where we looked at, the use of these therapies went up relative to a control group that gets all of the same care. The only thing that was different really was that they did not get these copayment reductions.
You found that it worked. Actually, this intervention worked.
We did for the use of these therapies. For adherence to these therapies, it was a little bit less effective, but part of that is a function of the fact that adherence to the therapies in individuals that were using them was already pretty high. And once you're relatively high, you can't go all that much higher.
So it would only be a small gain or a small increment better or something like that. This has been Damian McNamara with Global Medical News Network.